2020, 2021 are like the year of the trend setters. Just not all of them are trends that we like. I think we're setting some trends during COVID. I don't know that all of them are good trends, but we are definitely setting some trends. And in today's video, Business Coach reacts to COVID-inspired business trends. We're going to take a look at some of these business trends that are definitely inspired by the pandemic, but are not going away anytime soon, and talking about which ones we should be paying attention to for our businesses. Because at the beginning of the pandemic, I wrote an article for American Express and talked about how consumer behavior is going to change, and all of the things that we needed to do early in the pandemic in 2020 were not going to be temporary fixes, but they were going to be long-term solutions that made our businesses stronger. And I should win an award for future predicting, because I'm telling you, most of the stuff that I talked about at the beginning of the pandemic was absolutely true. I didn't know how true it was going to be. It was very, very true. So I think that consumer behavior is absolutely changing. There are things that have happened as patches, like Band-Aids for business during the pandemic, that as consumers we're like, yeah, we're not going back. We're not going to go back to the way that it was. We are going to embrace this newness, and that's what we want. So we got to give the people what they want, my friends. If you're new to the channel, I'm Amy Walker. I'm a small business strategist, and today we are going to be reacting to the trend report by Trend Hunter. And they said in there, the Roaring 20s are coming back. It's the new Roaring 20s. I don't know if that's true, but let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so there's a lot in this report. I'm definitely not going to go through the whole thing, but I do want to go through some things that I think are really impactful. So number one is tech privacy. As consumers, we love tech privacy, right? And this new Apple iOS update is going to be coming out, which is going to allow you to not be tracked anywhere that you are. And that is definitely going to affect our digital marketing, because as marketers, we've gotten very used to being able to use pixels and track where people are moving online and retarget and all of those types of things, tracking behavior. So these anti-tracking smartphones definitely could affect the way that we run our ads. Now, I will say marketers are like cockroaches in that we will not be snuffed out. When I was in Russia as a young 19-year-old girl, I met my first cockroach, and I tried really hard to kill said cockroach, and it just kept moving. Didn't matter how many times I stomped it down, it kept on going. And that is being a modern marketer. Not that we're gross, but just that we are relentless and we will find a way to come back. But this is a moment where I would definitely be not having all your eggs in the digital marketing ad space, because over the next year, I think things are going to shift there. We need to be more innovative. We need to be more creative. We need to find other ways to interface with our clients so that we can continue to bring people in. So I think tech privacy, I do think that's going to be a game changer. Okay, AI delivery is the next one. So artificial intelligence being used to make delivery processes more efficient. Delivery. Never been more important. We've never relied so much on delivery. And remember when Amazon Prime was a 1 or 2 day delivery, and now you might prime something, you might not get it for 10 days. Crazy town out there. So anything that you can do to make it more smooth for your people to order online and more smooth to automate that process of delivery is incredibly important. 100% agree with that. Because just today, I was shopping for a dress, and I found a dress that I really loved, and it wasn't going to get here until after I needed it. And I was like, well, next dress, keep moving. So delivery definitely matters. Okay, the next one is WFH prosumer, which is work from home consumers, and trying to create better setups so that they can have a better work from home experience. So anything related to helping people work at home better is trending right now. I totally see that. As entrepreneurs and small business owners, a lot of times we're in the consumer end of that. But where I think we should be paying closer attention is in the virtual consumption experience, because so many of our clients are no longer in person with us and they are consuming whatever we do virtually, whether that's information or it's a product. I think that we should be paying attention to this trend, what people are buying, what they're using, what they're wanting, and finding ways that we can make their streaming experience even more successful. Also, I don't know about you guys, but my whole team is working from home. So, all across the world, my team are all working from home. Now, that for me isn't new. We were that way before too, but we used to like see each other at least. Like we'd get together for live events or conferences or things, and now that's not happening either. So, just making sure that your team's doing well, that they're all connected and all plugged in, and that they can work from home as well as they can work in person. Okay, tech fatigue is the next one. Oh my gosh, I have this. In fact, my husband just talked me into like buying a whole new home setup, which was quite the investment because I'm getting so much like eye fatigue from just staring at screens all day long every day. So here's what I'm thinking through, because my business is virtual. I meet with my clients online. They consume their product online. Like everything's happening online. I've just been thinking, what could I do offline with my clients that would like give them a way to be able to have a break? For example, I used to have back in the day audio CDs that they could just like listen to in their car while they were out walking or things like that. Could I create some audio lessons that could actually get them off of their screen, get them out into the world, but still keep their brain moving and active? And so I don't have answers for that for my brand yet, but I'm definitely thinking about it because I'm feeling the tech fatigue. I don't want to spend any more time on Zoom. Like I'm ready for a break. Don't leave the YouTube channel right now though. I mean, like keep watching and then you can leave after you watch this video. I don't know if that works. Next up is boomer tech. This one is really funny to me. So what this is that the boomers are now on all the apps for the young people. And we're not just talking the way that our kids say boomer, because like they call me a boomer. I am clearly not a boomer. I was born in 1980. Depending on which, numbers you're using, I'm even sometimes considered borderline millennial. But I'm definitely not a boomer. But boomers are getting on TikTok. They are getting on Instagram. They are getting on Snapchat. They're getting on all the places. Why are they doing this? They're doing this because they want to stay connected with all of their friends and their family. So I do think that this is increasing our demographic of who we are reaching online. I have watched this year as some of my platforms, my age demographic has gone a little bit up, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder why we're shifting. Because normally my age graphic, it tends to be a little bit younger than me till right about my age. And it's been kind of shifting upward. Now I'm wondering, I'm like, is this because the boomers are on? And they're like, watching my content? I don't know. If you're a boomer, let me know. But I love this trend. I think this is great because there are so many people in that boomer generation that now we can reach through our online. It just expands your audience. So I think boomer tech is awesome. Oh, and another thing in here is, how is your brand finding ways to engage an underserved demographic? I think that's an important question to ask. All right, next trend is the comfort commercial. I don't know about you, but I feel like we've had enough doom and gloom and scarcity and fear and anger, and like we have so many emotions right now. We don't want to be marketed to in that way anymore. So the scarcity, poke the pain type marketing has gone out, and what's come in is the comfort marketing. It's the feel good. It's the we're in this together. It's the you got this, friend. That type of marketing is really performing well right now. And I think that's going to continue for a while. I don't think that's just going to go away because honestly, this pandemic's not going to go away for a while. Our lives are changing. Our kids are adapting so much more smoothly than we are, but we are sometimes like still going, I want it to go back to how it was. And instead, let's embrace a new norm and find positive in wherever we are. And so I would recommend that you adjust your marketing to fit that. You got to create that transition and shift the conversation. And I think you'll find that people will respond really well to that. Oh, I love this one too. Work from home culture. So, I love this one because so many entrepreneurs and small business owners, your team are often virtual or part-time or you're a little bit of an eclectic crew, even if your team is all in-house, it's just not the same. And I have always been a big believer in corporate culture and creating a positive team culture and an experience, because as an entrepreneur or small business owner, you oftentimes cannot compete with the big guys for things like benefits packages and 401ks and all of these different things. So how do you compete? You compete by making it the best job that they have ever had, and that they absolutely love working with you, and that they feel valued, and they feel like they're contributing, and they feel like they're growing as an individual. And a lot of those things come from your culture. And so many businesses, their whole culture was built around what they did when they were together in the office and their rituals. I think culture is the layer below your rituals, and your rituals reflect your culture. And so if everything fell apart in your culture when you all went virtual, you didn't really have a culture. You just had some rituals that people like to do. So I think this is a great one to really go in and look at, what are you doing to create employee engagement and a sense of belonging and a sense of being a part of something bigger than what they're, bigger than a paycheck. Do you have that? If not, I would get it. I think this one is another good one too, especially if you're any kind of B2B service provider. This is the startup support. So understanding that a lot of people lost jobs during the pandemic, and they are realizing that they didn't have the security that they wanted. So even if they could go back to the workforce, a lot of people are starting up businesses right now, which is traditional. Anytime there's a recession and there's a lot of jobs that are lost, there's a lot of new startups that come out. And so this is, how are you actually supporting the new startups? What are you doing to make their transition easier? What are you doing to kind of give them like some COVID type relief as they are trying to get their business going? So are you focusing on this big new influx of people who are starting out? There's a lot of them. They don't necessarily have a ton of cash, so this might not be the time to be selling your high-end services, but what can you do to help them get up and going and create a customer for life? I think that's an important one. All right, I like a lot of these trends. Again, I think that when we as a society go through challenging things, we're really good at innovating. We're really good at coming up with a great new solution. And I like these. I think these are trends that are going to be positive. They're going to stay with us for a while, even if they started from something that was like not the most fun thing that I've ever had in my life. It reminds me of a movie from the 90s. I think it was a Pauly Shore movie, where he said, it's better than a kick in the face with a golf shoe. So I think that these trends are definitely better than a kick in the face with a golf shoe. And I appreciate you being here. If you like this, make sure that you go check out more of our Business Coach Reacts videos. And I can't wait to see you back here again.